When you think about the world's most demanding jobs, manufacturing floors, huge construction sites, safety isn't just a priority, it is absolutely everything. So today, we're diving into a new AI breakthrough that could basically act as a tireless guardian, making these really dangerous environments a whole lot safer for everyone. Let's break down how this new AI is going to become that guardian. All right, first up, let's talk about the gear. Personal Protective Equipment, or PPE. This stuff is often the only thing standing between a worker and a serious, life-changing injury. It is literally that last line of defense when everything else fails. And for millions of people, this gear, we're talking helmets, glasses, gloves, it's all mandated. But here's the big question, right? How do you make sure it's actually being worn and worn correctly by every single person all of the time? Well, that is a massive, ongoing challenge.
So, that brings us right to the core of the issue, the trouble with monitoring. For decades, industries have been trying to crack this nut, and honestly, the results have been pretty mixed. This slide really breaks it down. You've got your two traditional approaches, and you can see the problems right away. I mean, sure, you could have human inspectors walking the floor, but that's expensive, it's slow, and let's be real, people make mistakes. They get tired. Then you have the more futuristic idea, IoT sensors in the gear. Sounds cool, but they're super expensive to roll out and can be really finicky. The bottom line? Neither solution is perfect, not even close.
And this is where computer vision, basically teaching a computer to see and understand what it's looking at, enter the picture. It seemed like the perfect solution, not invasive, scalable, an AI that could just watch the camera feeds and spot when someone's not wearing their gear. But it had a hidden and pretty much fatal flaw. Which leads to the obvious question. If this idea is so great, why isn't this technology already in every factory and on every construction site in the world? What was holding it back?
And this, right here, this is the smoking gun. Just look at the old datasets that were used to train these safety AIs. They are incredibly narrow. One focuses only on helmets, another is just helmets and vests, and almost all of them are only for construction sites. You see the problem? The AI was trying to understand this huge, complex world by looking through a tiny little keyhole.
And that really is the key takeaway here. The problem wasn't the AI algorithms themselves. Nope. The real bottleneck was the data. The AI was basically being starved of the diverse, rich information it needed to get truly smart.
So to fix this massive data problem, researchers went and built a groundbreaking new training library. It's called the SH17 dataset, and it was designed from the ground up to give AI a much, much better set of eyes.
Okay, first, let's just talk about the sheer scale. The dataset has just over 8,000 high-resolution images, and what's really important is that these came from all sorts of global manufacturing environments, not just one type of worksite. That's huge for minimizing bias.
And second, the scope. This is where it gets really impressive. It doesn't just look for helmets. It covers 17 different categories, everything from safety glasses and earmuffs to gloves, face guards, even specialized safety suits. It is a massive leap forward in complexity and real-world usefulness.
And you can really see that breadth in this chart. It's not just about one or two things. The dataset is packed with tens of thousands of examples covering hands, heads, faces, and all the gear that protects them. It's teaching the AI to understand the full picture of worker safety.
And what's so critical is the quality here. These are not simple, sterile photos. They've got different people in really complex industrial settings with all kinds of different lighting. This richness is exactly what an AI needs to learn how to handle the messiness of the real world.
Okay, so the researchers built this incredible dataset. The next logical step, and the fun part, was to see what would happen when they actually used it to train a top-of-the-line AI model.
The results? A brand new benchmark. The best model they tested, called YOLO-V9-E, hit a peak performance score of 70.9%. Now, that score is a fancy metric that basically measures how accurately and reliably the AI can spot multiple types of safety gear in one picture. It's the new gold standard for this kind of complex job.
But numbers only tell part of the story. You have to see it. Just look at this comparison. On the left, you see how older models might miss something or, falsely flag an object. But on the right, the new model, trained on this awesome dataset, is correctly identifying multiple items on multiple workers all at once. The difference is just night and day. And here's a cool little detail for anyone into the tech side of things. This new model wasn't just more accurate. It was also more efficient.
It got that top score using 15% fewer parameters than its closest competitor. In simple terms, that means it needs less computing power to do a better job. It's not just better, it's smarter.
So, what does this all mean for the real world? This is about way more than just a cool research paper. This is pointing toward a very, very different future for keeping people safe at work.
Now, to prove this wasn't just a one-trick pony, the researchers tested their model on a totally different, older dataset. And guess what? It still performed really well. This is a huge deal because it shows the AI can actually generalize what it learned. It's not just memorizing pictures, it's truly understanding the concept of safety equipment.
So when you put it all together, what this technology unlocks is massive. We're talking about scalable, 24/7 monitoring that never gets tired, never gets distracted. It drastically cuts down on the risk of human error and lets companies be proactive, spotting that missing pair of safety glasses before an accident can happen. This is really setting a new standard for safety.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought. For centuries, we've relied on human diligence to keep people safe. But as technology gets this smart, you have to ask yourself, could a tireless, intelligent, digital set of eyes finally be the key to preventing that next tragic and totally preventable workplace accident?